Oh, hi. Cozy. I like being cozy. If you can't tell, I dress cozy, I act cozy, I am cozy. But I play a lot of intense titterpigs. Titterpigs where you die a lot. Titterpigs that are, ooh, scary. Titterpigs full of grand adventures trying to take down big old meanies. But then a lot of times, I find myself unwinding with a nice cozy video game like Stardew Valley, Potionomics, Fields of Mystria. Why, if only there were an intersection in this Venn diagram of the games that I like to play, to combine my two loves into one perfect game, and it's this. This is it. This is the thing. Tales of Forge and Fortune is what happens when you take a traditional titterpig and try to cross it with games like Stardew Valley, Potionomics, that one with the shop, you know. It's good tea. And I'm about to give you the tea on Tales of Forge and Fortune. Now, Tales of Forge and Fortune isn't out yet, but there is a Kickstarter currently running for it, and frankly, these numbers, we need to get these up. And there's a free quick start, so if you like what I end up telling you in this video, you can go download it, check it out for yourself, play around a little bit. I sure have. But also for transparency's sake, the creators of this game were nice enough to actually send me a early preview copy of the actual game. And first off, they got a lot of stuff already down and figured out. Tales of Forge and Fortune is a game where the player characters are going to be blacksmiths. Sorry, this isn't the farming simulator some of you might have been waiting for. I know I lured you in with Stardew Valley, but we're focusing more on the other parts, the Clint part. Cliff? Clint? Him. I don't know why I'm doing bits where I'm gonna have to edit more when the point of these videos is to edit less. Whatever, Klaus. Now, this isn't just the fact that, oh, the character classes are all blacksmith themed, but you're still grand adventurers going out and doing big things. The game just has some more mechanics as far as like crafting stuff and gathering resources. You're not a hero. I mean, you're a hero insofar as people who do all kinds of different service and labor work are everyday heroes, but you're not an adventurer. You can't even wield a weapon if you don't have the right skills. You can make them, doesn't mean you know how to swing them. The system is simple enough. For the most part, you are rolling a D20 to see how actions go. There aren't a ton of actions in this game that are strictly pass and fail though. Whereas in a more traditional titterpig, when you roll a D20, you've got a difficulty check that you're looking to hit, and if you hit it or exceed it, you succeed, otherwise you might fail. Instead, in this game, a lot of your rolls are going to be more table-based. Now, yeah, higher rolls are better, but lower rolls oftentimes can still give really good results. Though there are opportunities for failure, I promise. Good stories need failure, okay? It happens. It should happen, sometimes, but it should be interesting. And it is. A lot of what you're doing in this game is gathering resources, creating items as a blacksmith, and then running your shop and selling those items. That is what the vast bulk of mechanics in this game are focused around. Now, there are some mechanics for combat, though you really don't have to engage with them very much. Your character might never fight. You might just actually recruit adventurers to do fighting for you. Or maybe you'll try and befriend your enemies. I sure would. But mostly, you're going to be taking one of your 3 time slots in the day, morning, afternoon, and evening, or morning, evening, night. Morning, evening, night. Look, you got the early, you got the mid, you got the late. So you roll a d20 to resolve most stuff. You might roll some other dice at other times to determine how much of something you get or whatever, but we're gonna focus mostly on the d20 in the system, it looks like. You're also gonna have 4 stats that relate to gathering and smithing and a little bit fighting, and then you're gonna have a nice little list of skills, and those are gonna give you bonuses to doing stuff. I mean, come on, this is Titterpig 101. That's not this video, so you better know it, or I hope you studied. Did you meet the prerequisites for this class? So let's say your character is trying to build a sword or something, and you need to go and get some iron or whatever for swords. You would go out, your character would spend one of their time periods going to gather resources, and then you would roll your mining, and depending on like the level of the mining node that you found, where you land on your little table will determine how much and what quality ore you're able to gain. Maybe you can get diamonds or something, I don't know. I mean, it really does tie very closely to games like this. This is probably the closest I've ever seen a Titterpig really emulate this feel in a video game. And if that's something that you've looked for, it's great. I know that in a lot of Titterpigs, they try and give you the option for crafting stuff during downtime, things like that. And I've never loved the implementation in a lot of those. It's okay in games that things are kind of more abstracted, or, you know, like Blades in the Dark, if you create a weapon or something like that during your downtime, it's very, very simple stats. You know, you create an item and it's fine and you can use it in one mission or whatever, and it gives you a little bonus against a roll or whatever. Cool, nothing very specific. And if you're in a game such as like 5e or something, crafting items, believe me, I've really looked into the rules for it. I've looked into homebrew rules that people have made up for them. I've never liked it very much. It can work in certain campaigns, I think, but the game's not designed around it. This game is. And if you're looking for something like that, a game that has these really cool rules for crafting all of these neat items, because you're going to start off at lower levels crafting your basic, you know, I made a sword out of wood, and eventually you'll make it out of metal, and eventually you'll make it out of god hair. I don't know. Note to the game devs, god hair sword, that's a freebie. You can use that. And there's really not a ton more to say about the mechanics. It's just so many different items to create and talent you'll get that will help you either with gathering or creating items or selling items. There's kind of a haggling mechanic where that's almost combat with like a tough customer where you're rolling combat like against their charisma, and whoever has the greater riz wins. Just like in real life, the game is focused around those core concepts of gathering, building, and selling. And combat's in there a little bit, but not a focus. And I keep saying that, and I know the one thing I'm going to get folks saying is, how is this a tabletop role-playing game? Like, what's the point? What's the point? Where's the big bad evil guy I've got to kill? There isn't one. Why do you need one? This is a cozy game. Chill out. We're just gonna have some nice, warm, happy fun. Now, this isn't a foreign concept to plenty of people out there. There are games, Akiba's, I should look it up. This one, that exists. Wander Home, that's pretty cozy. That's a cozy little game right there. Wish I had the physical books to put up, but clearly I don't. So yeah, I think the idea of cozy games isn't foreign to everyone. So if you're already interested in cozy games and you're interested in what this game has to offer, let me just tell you, the stuff they're doing looks good. Go check out the Quickstarter and go support the Kickstarter. Kickstarter. That's, I don't know if I like that, or quick start and kickstart. But there are plenty of people out there who I think hear about games like this, and it's initially not going to be your jam. You're like, look, there's not some big adventure. What kind of stories can you even make? Like, you've just got mechanics to simulate this shop sim, but where's the story? There's so many stories. Have you ever played Potionomics? You're just talking to people. making relationships, building relationships, sending other people off to do dangerous adventures while you just craft stuff, and then you sell it. But there's a story. You're trying to win this little tournament and rebuild your shop and everything. It's so good. I'm genuinely going to play Potionomics after this. That's fun to do with your friends. Look, I know so many of you, so many of you, you don't play these games for combat or big adventures. You play these games to flirt with your friends. Well, guess what? Tales of Forge and Fortune? The greatest fortune. Smooches. But seriously, you could have, the campaign that you're running in a game like this, where there is like a smithing, tournament and you're trying to win that, or just stuff that's happening around the town that you're building in. Look at Stardew Valley. People play that a ton. There are storylines going in it. Look at Fields of Mystria. There's so many little storylines going on where, yeah, you're doing your day-to-day, just clunking along, gathering stuff and building stuff, but you're also just talking with the different NPCs and creating a story. And that's something that this game has to offer for you. As I said, there are other games where you can kind of craft stuff where it's fine, but in this game, there are all these specific items and weapons and armor and accessories that you can try and craft that have like cool effects that you could be giving to adventurers you want. Or maybe one of the players has chosen to be a blacksmith who's also good at fighting, so some of you are building stuff to equip for them so you can go into more dangerous areas so you can get some diamonds to craft the God Hair Sword. There's plenty that can go on with games like this, and I think too often we want these tater pigs with these grand adventures and death and destruction and all this risk and everything. And I think that you can have something cozier, and there are still some risks in this. Your character's not going to die. If you lose in combat, you just get carted back to town at 0 health and you lose some money or something. It's not a big deal, because it shouldn't be in a game like this. That's not why it exists. This game exists for people who want to have a cozier, smaller story, and they don't need mechanics for combat, and their characters don't need to be learning, leveling up as, grand wizards casting fireballs. I mean, you can learn some stuff, like this game isn't gonna stop you from doing some of that, but that's not the main focus. The focus is just a smaller, cozier tale. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but this is 100% the kind of game that I hear about that makes me want to start a Discord server to run it as a play-by-post game, which, if you're not familiar, is instead of getting together once a week, hopefully, you just play by post on Discord. You post as you go, and people you just play whenever you get a chance to pop up a few messages and everything. A game like this would be wonderful for that. Its mechanics would suit that so well. Obviously, I don't think this game is for everyone. I think there are plenty of people out there you've heard about this game, you probably aren't still watching the video, or maybe you are, you're just so angry about it. I don't know. But I don't think I can convince everyone, obviously. I shouldn't have to. It's good to have games that do different things, and I really feel like Tales of Forge and Fortune does some stuff specifically that I really just haven't seen other games focus on. And I love seeing titterpigs that do that kind of stuff. And so, if this is the kind of thing that interests you, and by God, with the number of people I know who Stardew Valley is like a core memory of their world, this could be a great game for you. Plus, the rules are being designed so you can play it traditionally with a GM or tale teller and some players. You can play it one-on-one, where you've got the tale teller and the single player, so it's really like a Stardew Valley before the multiplayer mod. And they're going to have rules for solo play. Nice. So yeah, try not to get too bogged down with giving you mechanics and all that other stuff, because who knows, things might change. I got the early access preview of the book. Some stuff might change, but seriously, if you are even a little bit interested, go and check out the quick start. I think that this is going to be a lot of people's jam. I love a lot of what they're doing here. It really does feel like taking these cozy, what do you call them? Farm sim, shop sim, just life sim games, sort of. It feels like taking them and finally making a TTRPG that's focusing on the mechanics of that stuff. This is why we need a script, Klaus. Look, the mechanics are there for what's important to the game, and the rest of it is just role-playing. And let's be honest, a lot of us just want an excuse to role-play, and occasionally mechanics can come in and answer questions for us that we might otherwise have to just flub. By the way, any of my viewers, if you go to this Kickstarter and you back them, you better get in those comments and let them know the guide sent you. Or Klaus. If you call me the Newb, I am going to jump through that camera and I will get you. Bye!